There's no doubt that Batman the Animated Series is the greatest superhero cartoon of all time. For many of us, it has the most hallowed incarnations of these great characters, from Kevin Conroy's Batman to Mark Hamill's Joker. It also introduced many new ideas that would later be brought to the comics and other interpretations, not the least of which is the breakout character Harley Quinn. And it launched an entire universe of animated stories set in the world of DC Comics. So as the iconic show hits its 25th anniversary, let's rank our 10 favorite Batman the Animated Series episodes ever. First off, an honorable mention for Batman Mask of the Phantasm. While not technically an episode, we can't talk about the best of the animated series without mentioning this theatrically released feature film. Mask of the Phantasm is one of the Dark Knight's most stunning big screen adventures, a dark and gothic tale of loss, love, and tragedy. Poor Harley. She's got a good heart but can never catch a break. This standout episode finds her released from Arkham Asylum and cured, only to wind up in a snowballing situation that puts her back on the wrong side of the law. It's kind of a sweet segment with Batman and Robin trying to help Harley stay on the straight and narrow, and it helps solidify our love for what was at the time a pretty new character.
Well, that's my good deed for the day. Bye!
On its own, this two-parter is a completely adequate telling of Harvey Dent's origin, but what makes Two-Face such a standout is the fact that we'd seen the non-villainous Harvey Dent appear prior to this episode. It's the perfect example of the mature storytelling the show strives for. The episode also explores the loss of one of Batman's allies within the system, and it lays the groundwork for what would become a hallmark of the show, exploring the sympathetic sides of Batman's rogues. One of the best things about the animated series is that it didn't hesitate to put characters other than the Dark Knight in the spotlight. This episode is one of the best examples of that trend, teaming a jokerless Harley Quinn with a ferocious Poison Ivy. It's pure fun with some great character development for Harley, who finds herself finally breaking free of the Joker's abuse with the help of her new friend. Perchance to Dream is a Hamlet reference, and fittingly, this episode is Shakespearean in its tragedy. Bruce Wayne wakes up to discover that his parents are alive and he's engaged to Selina Kyle. He has memories of his life as Batman, but none of it exists in this new reality. Ultimately, Bruce willingly gives up this happy world he's found, showing the strength of his character and his commitment to his mission as Batman. This one is all about the legacy of Caped Crusaders, featuring a washed-up actor best known for his role as the Grey Ghost and voiced by the late Adam West. The tale explores the notion of nostalgia as it pertains to Batman's career and history. It portrays Bruce Wayne with a sense of fondness for the past instead of the pain and suffering that's usually associated with that time in his life. Plus, including West here is something of a passing of the torch gesture, and it works remarkably well.
Grey Ghost was my hero, so it wasn't all for nothing.
The Joker had appeared in the series plenty of times before Joker's Favor, but this was the episode that finally nailed the sick and sadistic nature of the character in a way that was acceptable for kids but thoroughly disturbing for older viewers. It shows how the Clown Prince of Crime operates, how long his grudges last, and how obsessively psychotic he is. Plus, this is Harley's very first appearance. Possibly the series' darkest episode, Over the Edge explores the apparent death of Batgirl at the hands of Scarecrow. Babs' death leads to the Bat family becoming Gotham's most wanted, while Jim Gordon's life unravels in his pursuit of them. Of course, eventually it's all revealed to be a fear-toxin hallucination, but the message winds up shedding some light on Barbara's character, showing us exactly what her biggest fears are and how she can deal with them. This two-part classic is a prime example of how the show could take well-traversed mythology and give it a spin all its own. The episode, which depicts Dick Grayson's origin as well as his thirst for revenge years later, is one of the series' most emotional. It nails the relationship between Bruce and Dick and portrays the tragedy of the Graysons' death with a heavy heart. Almost Gotham centers around some of Batman's greatest foes as they share war stories about the Caped Crusader over a game of poker. The segment also slowly reveals a subplot about Batman and Catwoman that's happening in real time, leading to one of the show's most clever episodes. Plus, some of the finest animation in the entire series can be found here. Is there any other choice? This award-winning episode was the first written by Paul Dini and directed by Bruce Timm, the driving force of the DC animated universe that would follow for the next decade or so. Heart of Ice showed how deeply the animated series could connect with viewers. Revamping the origin of B-list villain Mr. Freeze, the episode created great sympathy for a character that had been little more than a goofy gimmick. It would set the precedent for Batman's rogues in the series. But Heart of Ice is also the pinnacle of the show's balance between kid-friendly superheroics, strong character beats, and thematic relevance that adult viewers can soak in. It's a crowning achievement not only for Batman the Animated Series, but for animation in general. For more on Batman, check out our History of Awesome on the animated series, or take a look at our review of Batman and Harley Quinn, the latest of the Dark Knight's animated adventures. And for all your Bat needs, be sure to subscribe to the IGN platform of your choice.